So what is going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and yes, I'm going to be doing an unboxing, a overview of this new monitor right here. I'm hoping it's good, but it is an Asus VH238 LCD LED backlit monitor. Quite happy to have this, so a few details about it. The reason why I also want to say I'm not doing a review of this is because I really don't know too much about monitors, to be honest, and I feel like I wouldn't be able to do a sufficient review without annoying a few people, so I'm just doing an overview. This is just me testing it out. These are my opinions on it, and really that's about it. So it has a contrast ratio of 50 million to 1, a full HD, 2 millisecond time delay. It has speakers on it as well, which I normally don't see on monitors, but that's something that attracted me to it as well. I don't know how good the speakers are, but we'll see. On here, it says it has HDMI, DVI-D, and D-Sub. Always good to have a few options. Aside from that, as for the price, I picked it up off Newegg. It got shipped here via UPS, but I picked it up off Newegg. It was originally, I think, $200 or maybe even a bit more than that. I got it for $150. Then I got a $10 Newegg gift card with that, well, a promotional credit ticket. So I have $10 that I can use on Newegg, and there's going to be a $20 mail-in rebate that I can mail in with this. And they normally take a while, but they always work out for me. So after everything, about $120 for this monitor. So does it stack up to $120? Let's go ahead and check it out. I have not checked out anything in here, but I had to rip off the tape here because I was pulling off my address and it pulled all the tape with it. So we can go ahead and open this up. This is very odd because normally I have to open up monitors from the top, like right here. Well, like right here is what I'm trying to explain. I just open up monitors from the top, but this one I have to open it up like so. So let's see. So far it looks like it's padded pretty well. Go ahead and pull out the first piece of styrofoam. And this should be the back of the... No, this is the front of the monitor, actually. Cool. I can pull this out. Feels a bit heavy. Yeah, it has some weight to it compared to my other monitors. That's not bad, though. Not bad at all. I mean, I'm not saying it's too heavy or anything. I'm just saying it's a bit hefty compared to other LED monitors I have. I have two really slim Dell 23-inch LED monitors hooked up on my main computer. And this monitor I'm actually going to be using at work. So this is just a spare one I have. I'm not going to be doing a tri-monitor setup yet, at least. We can pull that out. Under all this, what do we have? We have the monitor stand. Always good to have. Let's see here. Oh, sweet. We have the audio cable here. I'm going to probably need to use that. A typical, is this, oh, nice, it's not proprietary. Okay, just a regular PSU power cable. I hate proprietary ones. VGA. You know, I surprisingly have a lot more HDMI than VGA cables on hand, so I'm always happy to get a new VGA cable. And a DVI cable right here. And right here, we have, let's see, Asus VIP member notice. Alright, got all that stuff. So let's go ahead and actually show off the monitor and pull out everything. I'm not going to need the cables yet, but we can just have them on the side and we'll be good. So as for the actual monitor, let's see right here. We can go ahead and pull all this off. And there we go. That is a beauty. Look at that. That's a really nice looking monitor. So it has everything on the side here. We can go ahead, probably just hook this up right now. There we go. Great. It's locked in, the monitor. We can adjust it like that. That looks pretty good, actually. I'm really liking it. Let's set it up like so, and we can go ahead and pull out everything on here. So this looks like it's going to attract a lot of fingerprints, which probably isn't the best thing, but we'll see how it is. Alright, so as for the actual monitor, after I kind of struggled to pull off some of the stuff here, we have all the buttons down here below. So, feel like normal buttons. That's odd. Well, just for me, because my other monitor really doesn't have any actual buttons, so a bit different. But the back of the monitor, we have it right here. And from what I see, all the inputs and such are underneath. So I'll see if I can get a good shot of them. But right under here, if you can see this, actually it's a lot better if I do it right here. You might be able to see it. There we go. Let's see, I have the audio output here, actually audio input, never mind, so audio input, VGA, DVI, HDMI, and then on the other side, we got power. So that's really all there is to it. It looks like there are two spots right there for the audio, and their SPDIF, another one right there. Honestly, I know that's related to audio. I've never used that port, though. So we have all of that. I'm really wanting to see if HDMI audio will be able to travel through here. That'd be really, really nice. And this is already picking up a little bit of dust. So that is one warning about this monitor. This thing is going to pick up dust easily on the side bezels right here. Another thing I've read is that sometimes if you get separate monitors, if you get two of these monitors, the height might not be the same on both of them. Or if you get just multiple monitors, like the height might not be the same, which, if you're doing a multiple monitor setup, that could be a bit problematic. But anyways, let's go ahead and hook this up, pull off the rest of this, and we should be good to go with everything. Alright, well, I've gotten to use the monitor for a few minutes, and I can say I am pretty happy with it, to be honest. Right here I'm on my Xbox, and I have this loaded up. I would hook it up to my PC, but the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm mostly going to be using this for an Xbox. I'll be using it for some games, and I'm going to be using it for mostly movies, music, all that good stuff. Although for music, I'll probably have a separate sound system hooked up, but first thing I want to say is, if you can hear this, there are not any separate speakers hooked up to this monitor, and it is hooked up through HDMI. So the nice thing is, if you don't really care too much about the sound quality and you just want to use the onboard speakers, you don't have to split off your audio, which is really great. Now, I know this probably doesn't look the best, and that is just because of the monitor, but the color on here is great. The image is very sharp. I play a little bit of Call of Duty. Very responsive, very responsive. I loved it on there. I was playing Anarchy Reigns. I'll show this just to show the responsiveness and everything. But the game itself really doesn't look that good. So if you see this and this is the only game I show you, you'll probably be like, oh, that monitor's terrible. Why would you recommend it? So I go ahead... I loaded up Braid. I played around on that for a little bit, and I'll go ahead and load it up on here just so you all can see it. But the sound on here is great, and I have this running at, let's see, a little over 60, so 61, 62, it goes to 100, and this is running in full HD, well, quote-unquote HD, if you know anything about the Xbox, but as I said, this is mainly what I'm going to be using it for, so I needed something important like this. But you can see the darks really show on here. Then when you come in here, I mean, the color is just great. Everything is vivid. It pops out. The sound is really great as well. And I'm going to pause here and just say, one thing that was worrying me, the reason why I'm really stressing the sound is because on almost all the reviews that talked about the speakers, people complained so much about the sound, saying, oh, well, the speakers are weak on here. You can barely hear. I have my fan running right now at full blast. People were saying that if you have a fan running, you can't hear it. I can hear this perfectly fine. Right now I'm in my living room, I walked into my room, and I could still hear everything fine on this, so I don't know if Asus upgraded their speakers or if these people are just deaf, because the sound on here is great. Now, it's nothing audiophile quality by any means, but it is great for what it is. So as you can see, everything on here is it's really bright, it's really vivid, and you might not be able to see it too well on this video, and that is just because I'm recording the actual monitor, not doing a PVR thing. I could record this with a PVR, but I choose not to because then I wouldn't be able to really demo the monitor for you all. So right now, it probably just looks like, some random person on YouTube filming their screen, but I'm trying to capture what I can, so you could just see, you could hear the sound. You could hear everything on there, at least, if I'm not talking. But you can really see, all of the artwork, everything on there, just everything looking bright, everything looking vivid, everything looking clean. I can see it on my little monitor here, and I'm hoping you all be able to see it on here. But everything looks great on here. I'm very impressed with this monitor, the sound, the video quality, everything. Super impressed with it. This is exactly what I needed it for. And honestly, I would pay full price for this monitor if I was able to demo it out. Oh, no, I'm not doing the right thing right here. No! Okay, you know what? I'm just going to stop failing. I'll load up Anarchy Reigns and show you all that. Alright, so right now, you're going to hear me pressing the buttons and all that, but this is Anarchy Reigns. Now, this is definitely nothing that I should use to really demo the model, but I'm trying to show just, the responsiveness on here and everything. So, I mean, I'm playing on it, 2 millisecond time delay, it feels great on here. Now, of course, as I said, doesn't look good by any means, and the volume, I actually really turned down the volume here. I turned it down to 19 out of 100. Before, when you were hearing Braid, that was at 62, but everything's really, really effective on here. I mean, I'm able to fight easily. this is really what you're going to expect from a monitor. And maybe if you're doing single-player games, I'm showing this game just due to the fact that it is a brawler and that, you know, hitting certain button combinations will be beneficial and timing them. If you're playing an online shooter or really anything online, you really want the lowest time delay possible. So when I was playing on Call of Duty, it worked out pretty well. I was okay with it. I really didn't experience any issues. And even on here, I'm really not experiencing issues. Again, this is really not how it looks. For demoing how everything really looks, oh, good God, huge enemy. For demoing how everything really looked, just, you know, the brightness, the vividness of everything, and these are all on default settings. That is why I showed you all Braid. And this is my first time playing this game in months, so that's why I'm failing here. But that's why I was showing Braid, just because it's a very colorful game. And this, I mean, this game, if you look at it, there's like a haze to it almost. Like, that's the only way I can explain it. There's just some type of haze in the background, or even in the forefront, so it really doesn't look that clean. It looks like it's run through a filter, which isn't the best thing. Also, if you just heard, if you heard something running in the background that sounded, I don't know, a bit like an overpowered fan and went down, that was my Xbox's disk drive stopping. So now you can actually hear a little bit of the game, even though it's really barely audible. But I mean, that's about it. Nothing really else I can explain about this. As I said, I really didn't want to do a complete review just because I'm really not up to par with all things monitors. But I just wanted to show, you know, if you're going to be using it like the way I'm using it, I'm okay with it. Now, there's one more thing I want to show you all, and I'll just go ahead pause this. It is going to be the sound itself and the speakers. I'll go ahead, find a song, play it on here, and I'll demo it for you all. Alright, now I'm just turning up the sound here. I'll take it up to about 60 out of 100 that I showed before, and I have two songs that I loaded up. One of them is Storm by Soul Slaveocracy. This one, he's a guy that I've known online for a bit. I do recommend you check him out. I'll have links for everything down below. And then another one, it was a rap song produced by Harry Fraud. So I'll play a little bit of each just so you all can get a demo. Now this is about, the camera's about 2 feet away from the monitor, so this is kind of something that you would hear, but this is actually my first time listening to some actual music on here, so I'll see how it is. Alright, so right here I have two songs that I loaded up. This is going to be my first time listening to any music on this monitor, but right here, if I could just turn it down, the volume is going to be at 60. The camcorder is about 2 feet away from the monitor, so this is what you would be hearing, but everything's on default. I came over here, I turned the volume back up all the way on the actual Xbox itself, but we'll go ahead and play it. Storm is an EDM style song, and then the one by Staley right there was produced by Harry Fraud, and it's a rap song. I'll put all the links down below if you're interested in the songs, and I'd recommend both of them, but I'll go ahead and play a little bit of each, and we'll try how, and see how each one is. Alright, so I just paused it about a minute in. I can definitely say I'm very impressed. I was really impressed with how that sounded now. Of course, since these are onboard monitor speakers of all things, there's not going to be a whole lot of bass. Of course, there's not going to be any punch, really. And it does sound a bit flat, but I'm mostly impressed at, you know, how clear it is, really, for what it is. Again, as I said, I'm basing this off reviews that I've seen of people saying how terrible the speakers are, and I'm quite impressed with them. They're loud enough for what I need them to be. At 60, they're very clear. I could hear all the details. They might be a bit flat, but you gotta realize that these are monitor speakers of all things, so they're really not going to sound the best. You're not going to get the richest type of sound, but for what they are excellent. I'll go ahead and play the next song on here so we could get some vocals.
música de Harry Fraud.
Skipping racks on this pebble beach, rolling marijuana leaves, staring through this blue dream, trying to formulate this peace of mind into a tranquil speech alone. But these snakes leech, trying to wrap around my ideas. I'm just trying to wrap around my mind's fears, blind tears. You can't see the pain, but your ears hear everything my heart shares. I'm just trying to part here, so I sit and spark here, smoking till I'm numb, yeah. Really, I just want the pain to go. Money I ain't aiming for, I just wanna lay low. Farmhouse, stable, Chevy with them 427s when I'm revving, hear them angels. It's like they screaming through my soul. My testimony shows I rose through the rumble, never crumbled. Held my head and stayed humble. Never did I succumb to that fake-ish I run through.
Alright, so again, paused it a minute in. I can honestly say that actually sounds better than the one before, and I guess it might be mastering or something, I don't know, but the vocals were very clear. I could hear all the details, and actually the bass pickup on here, now of course this isn't going to be anything that's going to be rattling your walls by any means, but you could actually hear, you know, where the bass drops are, where they're supposed to be. Now of course, it's not the best bass by any means, don't get me wrong, but you could actually hear where the pickups are supposed to be, which was great. I was very surprised with it. I mean, for some cheap onboard speakers on here, I'm very, very surprised. These speakers actually sound a lot better than, you know, some $10, $15, maybe even $20 speakers that I've picked up at places like Walmart or Target or any other place. So I can honestly say the speakers are amazing on here. I can't even think of a monitor that I've owned that has had speakers built into it, but I can say these ones are great. They are loud enough, they are clear enough, they have great pickup. I can hear all the details on them. And if you think that I don't know, somebody who really doesn't know that much about audio, well, I have a 5.1 surround sound system hooked up to the TV behind me. I have a 2.1 hooked up to my computer, and I have all different component speakers. I have Alpine component speakers and a Rockford Fosgate 212-inch setup in my car, so I know a tiny bit about audio, a tiny bit. That's a given. Anyways, I'll go ahead and exit out of here, but I'm very impressed at how that sounds. So all in all, what do I think of this monitor? I think the monitor is great. I can't wait to use it more, and I am very impressed with the price. You know, $150, then $120 after the rebates, promotions. Definitely a good deal. One of the best deals I've gotten on hardware in a while. The only complaints I have are, as I've said, right here, where you have, you know, this nice looking bezel. That is going to attract dust to it really easily, and I'm pretty sure it's going to attract some fingerprints and thumbprints, so you're going to have to be careful with that. And this isn't with the monitor itself, but this was a fail on Asus themselves. The power plug did not work. I kid you not. Well, the power cable they gave me, the PSU cable, did not work. I thought the monitor was DOA, but I ended up grabbing another PSU cable I had, hooked it up, and as you can see right here, it works. So you might get a faulty cable. I really don't know, but Asus, what's going on there? How about you tell me? But for this monitor, is it worth $120, $150? Yes. Is it worth, you know, the retail price of $200 or more? I would definitely have to say yes. I have to say that, you know, for the other 23-inch monitors I have, I think they were well worth the money I paid, which is $150 and $200 a piece, even though they're matching. And if I could get speakers in them as bonus, I mean, that's great. It has DVI, it has HDMI on it, and VGA, I believe, if I remember right. I just have to flip it over again, and I showed it on here. But anyways, this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thanks for watching, everyone. And this definitely gets the Mr. Mario seal of approval. I love this monitor.